Welcome back to Politics Watch. This is Sir P. Now, today again, I have to go back to St. James. I have to go back to Montego Bay. Because fresh off the heels of the Hollywood-esque story, where man go in a community, shoot up the community, right, injure someone, them start left in a vehicle, next set of man start chase them, leading to a car accident, people end up lose them life, right, as me say, I show alone and see them thing there. Fresh off the heel after that, right, not even 24 hours pass, and we have another Hollywood story coming out of St. James. But this time, it involved the police and someone from Flankers. People, I'm going to tell you about this story, and then I'm going to give you some more information on the case surrounding that Hollywood story, right, where the CRV end up crash with the bossman. Because that story they can't just go so. We can't just have things like that happen and you just talk about it for one day and then it gone. No, it can't go so. But we could start with the shootout to the police. People, down there in a community called White House, if you look on your screen right now, you will see a little map. Now, this place is of strategic importance, especially to criminals. Do you know why that is? This spot, White House, this is where enough of the illegal machine them come into the island. This is one of the routes them where them take when time them are bringing in the long broom them, right, especially from across the waters. This is where them come through. See, it turns out that the police catch a car load of 87s down there, right, and these men were from the Flankers community. These men, and if you look on your screen, you can see Flankers is right across from White House, right, and behind the Sangsters International Airport. They're all closely linked, right. The people who know the area know exactly how it's set up. The map doesn't really offer much scale, right, but if you drive down there, you will see how close they are to each other, right. We're getting reports that police end up kill 2 87s, 2 get captured, and man end up escape. As I said, it was a car load of man. Now, this is important because the police reports are that when them spot the car and then pull over the car, the man them jump out and the shootout ensued, right, and so man end up get captured and man lose them life, right. These are the early reports, right. So far as you can see, not even come out in the Gleaner or the Observer yet, or any of the mainstream media. We're giving you the early reports, fresh from the man them who take part in the ops. Now, people, I want you to understand something. For years, people have been going to this White House spot to buy gun, bring in gun, all kind of things. And I've always wondered to myself, why the police them don't just take out the place? Why the police them don't just set up some kind of, them not stop them money. Make them go, Make them go and collect what they might collect, and then when time them come back, you just sweat them up, right? Or capture them or arrest them or whatever. Well, it turns out the police them actually managed to recover 2 guns, right? So based on the early reports, we have to commend the police because now it look like say they're starting to act and they're starting to go on the front foot, right? They're not just reacting, right? So there's no point when they want them come in the country, you start run up and down and look for them, right? Since we know the White House are one of the places them where the man them actually are bringing the weapons them, why not stake it out? Why not go there? Because you already know 87s are going to turn up, right, do them deal and then go about them business, and then that's when they can catch them right in the act and with the weapons them on them, right? So of course people, you might start to hear something come out in the mainstream media, especially by Friday midday or Friday afternoon. But we'll just break it to you, right? Big shootout one down at White House right after the Hollywood shootout. We're going where nobody say bossman lose him life, right? Now I want to go back to that story. I want to go back to the story that I covered where the man them going to the place, right? Man start run them down, man start drive them down. I hear that is a Mark X clip, CRV end up in a blue bus. I want to look at your screen right now, people. The man you're looking at, his name is Jeffrey Garwood. He's a 59-year-old tour operator. This is the man who was driving the Blue Bus, where the man who was having them own like a Hollywood, them real life Hollywood gun show. This is who the CRV man end up come crashing on. And this is how the man lose him life. The reason why I put this man picture on your screen is because far too often when people lose them life at Jamaica, we just hear say this happen and it lick up in one car and gunman shoot somebody and then it done. No. For cases like this, I think Jamaica needs to see the face of these people because we need to humanize these people. We need to make Jamaica realize, listen, this is flesh and blood. This is somebody's father. This is somebody's uncle. This is somebody's brethren. This is somebody's son. And the man was doing his work. The man a driving bus, tour operator, go about in business, and in the blink of an eye, he lost his life. Just like that. Just like that. Now remember, the Prime Minister said, people talk about negative things in Jamaica and give the impression, say, it can turn up at your doorstep. And I said in my counteraction, well, that actually is the case. At any time, it can turn up at your doorstep. And there you go. There you go, Mr. Prime Minister. A real life example. A boss man. Him never stand up on a corner. Him never there on a Cockburn pin. On a corner. Him never there on a West Kingston. A bun no spliff with no 87 and then get caught up in a foolishness. No. He was working. He was on the highway. He was making a living for his family. And out of nowhere, gunman in Jamaica have the audacity to drive down next set of gunman and have a rolling shootout on Jamaican streets to the point where Jeffrey Garwood end up losing life. Now me asking you something. Isn't there supposed to be an SOE in St. James, in Mobile? So if there is an SOE, how is it that criminals can have rolling shootouts? Want somebody explain this to me. It's not like say the man them have fire 2 shot and then run gun. No. The man them drive down each other. Man one car drive down the next car, man clip car flip gun the next car. A show business this. Hollywood now have nothing past St. James. A matter of fact, Hollywood a joke to me because in a Hollywood, them have to guess and create and make up things. Mobile man them a start their own show. But that's why people realize how serious things is because people always try downplay it and that's what the Prime Minister was trying to do. Saying, oh well, it's not like say it'll go up on your door, it's on your doorstep. At any moment. When Jeffrey Garwood left his house that day and pick up him clients them as a tour operator and he was driving, minding his own business, at no point could he have foreseen what was waiting for him. So what you mean in on your doorstep? What you mean in on your doorstep? People at Jamaica, we just want to understand how serious the place is. And remember, this is in the place where them claim say under lock and key. Because them claim say might be under lock and key. Right? Every time we look, we see picture. Right? We see checkpoint with too much armored vehicle on there. And despite all of that, man can decide, say, you know what? Me I go drive you down. Me I go drive you down. Have a rolling shootout to do. And when time I can't catch up with you, me I go just clip your car. And anything happen after that, just happen after that. This is Jamaica in 2020. And you notice, you don't hear no fuss at all. You don't hear no fuss, you don't hear no excitement, nobody, you come like say, it look like say, Jeffrey Garwood and not somebody. Because this should be a case for make Jamaican people in an uproar. This is a working man who was on the job, trying to support his family, and just like that, criminals make the man end up losing life. But, you notice? No one bag of excitement, no one bag of, it's like, whatever, who cares? There's no hashtag here. I'm not gonna get much likes. Now people gonna say, yeah, but Sir P, they never mean to kill him. They never mean to kill him. It was an accident, so what want the people them do? Really? Well, up at Augustown with the Susan Bogle, the JD soldier never mean to shoot her neither. That never stop you from pour out in her heart. That never stop you from making hashtags. That never stop you from nothing, even though that was also an accident. So nobody try again at 87, no lie and talk about they never mean it, cause you don't give the security forces the same benefit of the doubt. But with that said, listen, I want to send condolences to the family, right? To Mr. Garwood's family, right? I want to also send a special condolence to you. So I know he has a son named Javon Garwood. Young man, just keep your head up. Listen, there's nothing making yourself ease the pain, right? So I'm not even gonna try. But just keep your head up, right? The whole family, big up on yourself. I hope when they get some kind of justice out of this, right? Because trust me, I don't know. I don't even know what to say in times like this. One thing when somebody do something and you say, well, maybe him shouldn't go here, so maybe him shouldn't dip on the corner, maybe him shouldn't have par with that man, maybe him shouldn't chill out on that ends. The man was literally on his work, going about in business, and now in family affair planned funeral. Right now, to me see it, we need to start a new hashtag. And that new hashtag is Jamaican Lives Don't Matter. That's what I realize, Jamaican lives don't matter. And I know people are going to try to push back against that, but don't judge words, judge actions. Look around you. Do you think Jamaican lives matter? Listen, let me tell you something. By tomorrow morning, this story is forgotten. By tomorrow morning, there will be another Jeffrey Garwood. There will be a triple murder here and a double murder here and 5 man get it done over here. So, and people don't even have time to mourn. The Jamaican public don't even have time to consume the stories. As soon as I read the story, 3 people were killed in Spanish Town. Okay, by the next day, 4 people. They can't even get to soak in the stories. It's a shame, a real shame. Patreon squad, big up on yourself. PIA, you don't know. People, take care.